Shoot, I forgot my.
Thanks, recording.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Dan. It's too long to deal on the county judge.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can you, do you know him well? Or-
No, I don't.
Well, I know he took over for somebody. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so a petition, so they wouldn't change the name?
Yes.
I don't blame them.
Well, I don't mind neither, but I think you'd want to do that.
No. Can't decide over that stuff.
Right. We gotta work about that.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Our, any public comments? Is it Willard?
No.
Hey, y'all. Okay, item 3, and I just stuck that on there and I didn't have a chance to talk to Pam before I left. We don't have any bills. Okay, we'll just skip through item 3 then because we don't have any bills for this meeting. And so item 4 is our budget workshop. We've got, you've seen the figures, and I've got all of the requests in the budget that have been made to me so far that don't include salary, the radios, Jerry's request for the radios is not built in the budget. But
How much was his request?
Jerry,
Just a million?
Like one.
Depends on the different option you choose. If we choose to go in with the city of Porter, the initial upfront cost would be that addition to the contract for the infrastructure, and then you would have to pay for the radio, the end user radios for like the, I guess the different departments, like the sheriff's office and probation on them. And that was around 280,000.
but the infrastructure part could be put on our dispatch contract, right?
Right, the other side of the infrastructure, we can pay, the border is going to go onto the project, no matter what. If we decide to go in on it with the border side of it, they're gonna do the financing. And then our side of it will pay through our dispatching contract at that, it was like 89,000 additional, which I think, and even in that side of it, they were talking about it wouldn't come into play until 2022. As far as the.
On that, when we got those proposals, it only showed the financing through 5 years on a 15-year contract. But if that's, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Does the amount of increase each year remain the same through the whole?
Up to that 5 years, and that was the highest increase you would get to pay up for the rest of the infrastructure.
But it'll start down after that?
Yes, then once we get the infrastructure paid off, then it drops off.
Yeah.
And you're just.
But it looked like to me that was a service contract fee.
Part of it was.
What?
Part of it was the payback on the infrastructure for the repeater site. And the other part of it is the service agreement. Okay. Which that's the part that we split with Porter, or we wouldn't split, it was actually 75-35.
Can we get the full contract through the 15 years on payments?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
What would it cost just to pay it off after the whole?
Around 1.2.
Yeah.
1.1. Yeah.
1.3.
You'd have done a better job, got a little more money back before. Sorry.
Yeah, it is.
You did a great job, I'm just kidding.
On that contract deal, can we get a contract without having them opt out?
Well, that'll have to go to the attorney. That'll have to go to the attorney.
Yeah, and I'll have to send it to, I'll have to get an opinion from TAG There are probably some funding issues involved.
Okay.
Well, as far as the system, we don't go for the system when border goes to the system, then
Don't go too many.
yeah, we're gonna get onto the system. If we chose to get onto the system
At a later time.
time, yeah, we're gonna be looking at putting all of the infrastructure up front, which is $1 million plus the end user radio equipment. So we're looking at that $1.5 million to go onto the system later up front, instead of if we do it with the dispatching contract.
Okay, so what all does Jerry need to get for you on that?
All I'd like to see is the
actual
contract with the figures he gave us for just the first 5 years of finances. And I want to see what those increases are each year, because it was, continued to go up, and then where does that stop?
Right.
Yeah, like with that, I'd like to see the whole 15 years.
Right.
I've got
Get
that
that
part.
by Monday? Okay. Let's see if I make some decisions there.
Yeah, we can't wait till Monday to make a proposal. No,
Well, no, we need to file our proposed budget today, but we can always add that in later.
as long as you don't go above what we.
Tax rate.
Right.
But you still got the option of using a deficit budget to take it out.
Still the numbers deal with them, but don't.
Okay.
I'll be making decisions like that.
Okay, so are there any other questions on the actual budget that we have talked about in the last couple of weeks?
I still have not gone in to take some of that revenue out, right, because I wanted to get with Mark, and he wasn't here last week, so. But I got about 150,000 off of those figures I'm gonna have to take off.
So,
Because I got interest that's not gonna be there, and the miscellaneous is probably a little too high.
So anything else budget wise that we need to talk about? We have not talked about, and I don't know if you want to talk about it today, but we haven't talked about salary increases. We want to try to set a proposed budget and a tax rate and see what we have.
The only salary increase that I would like to see is what they've lost, but what you're gonna lose in insurance, but that's just my opinion, which would be very minute as far as the salary increase.
Any thoughts?
well, I have a concern for y'all. But, we got a false perspective here, I'm afraid, with this property tax going up, that we've got funds that are not gonna be there in the future.
Absolutely.
And I think any long-term commitments, you gotta be careful.
Thank you, Larry, you're right,
But it's,
You're right.
it could be a major difficulty. Totally
I think
shocked to me.
Jerry's been seeing
Yeah,
a few bankruptcies
we
filed
see-
already.
yeah.
And I heard on the news today that after January, it's just gonna be worse.
So I think
We believe that.
you gotta be very cautious for future.
Appraisals, they were appraised in February. It's hit in March and April, and a lot of businesses have suffered.
Right.
Employees have suffered of those businesses. And it's on effect everybody for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll see it as much this year as we're gonna see it next year.
you know, we're fortunate to have the industry we have, but there's a lot of supporting businesses that probably are not gonna survive. I mean, I hate that, but we must be, I think we've got to be realistic of what the future holds.
And all the employees should be glad they've got a job.
You know, I think they are.
Yeah, I do too.
I think we've got to dedicate
Oh, yeah.
elected officials and staff.
Oh, I do too. I do too. I think that's some of the best.
So, are you guys ready to set a proposed budget? What we've got so far?
We can go up or down in the proposed budget. We cannot go up on the tax rate.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
That's the way I understand. So, and our tax rate right now, you know, 59.5.
And I only ran 3 sheets because I didn't have time to run the others, so I will run for y'all, I
Y'all
only
have
ran
this, though.
57, 57 and a half, and 58, but I will run the other ones if y'all want me.
What is the other one?
Well, like 58 and a half, 59, if you wanna go up that high, I'll need to run those for you. I just-
Oh, you're talking, okay, I got
Yeah, I'm
what you're
just
talking about.
talking about these long
Yeah,
summary sheets.
We'll figure that too.
We're in rollback
Do what?
60.
60.
There is,
60.
oh, by the way, you need to get a
It's
lesson.
no new
There
tax.
is no rollback.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Voter
not
Voter
approval.
approval. And there is no longer effective tax rate.
It's no
So
new
No new,
tax.
You didn't want the Senate bill meeting evidently.
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's been changed.
And,
Yeah.
and the,
I shouldn't have.
if you didn't look at the, tax worksheet calculation, it's very simple. You know, I'm sure Carrie
Yeah.
didn't have any trouble getting that together.
All 8 pages of it.
All of that indigent, legal and all that, that's new, and it's not been on the others. But they didn't give us any credit for it. They didn't give us any break on it.
Well, you look in there, no.
No.
You look at,
So
did you look at all these different?
I couldn't see that we got any break for paying that $300,000. Maybe there's something in there, but I couldn't figure it out.
Lord, the loophole. So it's the 60, 54, 63?
Right.
No new?
Voter approval rate.
Yeah, if you go that amount, then there's an automatic election on your tax rate.
So, the voter approval
60,
tax rate.
60, like 65.
Well, no, you can't go over that.
60.
Right,
Can't
but
go
we
over
can
that.
set it at that
Was
rate.
659.
We can set it at that rate. There's
Yeah.
no election, but if we go over that, we're gonna have to have an election. Although, did they waive some of that because of the corona?
I don't think, I
They're
mean,
not gonna give
I was
us.
thinking I read something on that.
I didn't notice it.
Well,
They won't give us.
Because
yeah,
we're,
Cindy, you talk about this in the Senate deal.
well, because we're in a disaster declaration, we can go up to 8, I
Right.
think,
Yeah.
without an election.
Yes,
Right.
right.
But we don't want to do that.
No. Well, you know, the proposal, we can set it and then we can always bring it down and make people think we're really working.
We are really working.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. But, we gotta do item number 5 first. That's set the proposed budget.
We don't have any more major changes in the budget we've had.
Just the radios is the only major thing unless we decide to do something with salaries.
That'd be a long-term commitment.
Long term. Forever and ever.
15 years.
What if, you're looking at it, if we leave the tax rate where it is, or, we're talking budget, I thought tax rate.
So I make a motion, we approve the proposed budget as presented.
a motion for the budget as presented.
Second.
Present. Okay, motion second. Any further discussion on our proposed budget? All in favor? Okay. And item 6 is to consider and or approve the proposed tax rate for 2020, 2021.
I would propose at this time that we set the tax rate the maximum that we would be at the current rate. And then with all intention of lowering that rate.
Absolutely.
But that gives us.
So at the
flexibility.
0.605463.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All right, motion and second for the proposed tax rate. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed?
Oh, 665.
0.605463.
Which is on the last page.
Yeah,
well,
it's on
it's just
on the last page of the worksheet.
595.
Okay, does anybody have anything else this morning? We're gonna have to get to work on Monday. For sure. While we have talked briefly about salaries, I'll just let y'all know that I did have Eddie come to me and ask for a salary increase. Eddie Watson for the custodian, or maintenance. He just relayed to me that he does do a lot of extras and he was just asking for a salary increase. So I'll just let y'all think about that and we will have some discussion on Monday.
Kathy, on these, we take off 150,000.
I would, yeah,
I would. Okay, anything further? Meeting adjourned then. Y'all did good. Yes, final public comments before we adjourn, but there's no one here, so meeting adjourned.